So for the last couple of weeks, we've been going through the CDs in the store. I know this is a vinyl tour show. It's all about vinyl, but it's kind of an interesting story. Maybe it's not. You'll be the judge of it. I'll keep it quick. So we organized all the CDs. People seem to like that the CDs have been reorganized, cleaned out a lot of stuff. I mean, the Susie Orman CDs, do we really need those? The yodeling CDs, the CDs from people you've never heard of and no one's ever heard of. So I ended up with like 3 big boxes. I mean, I'm talking like big boxes of CDs. And I made them available in the store for $1 each. Not the CDs $1 each. The box is $1 each. And we had 2 young ladies come into the store. And they decided that they were going to pick them up. And I always love it when, a teenager is like, yeah, what the heck? I'll spend $3 on 400 CDs, and maybe they'll find something that they like besides the Susie Orman. All due respect to Susie Orman. And there was some Barbra Streisand in there. So, Barbara, you did well for yourself. You should be proud. Barbra Streisand, man. That's a young lady that sold a lot of records in her time. So, anyways, so it's kind of cool because I thought maybe it'd be like an older guy that would come in trying to flip the CDs, but then I think they probably realized that there's no value in these CDs, and it's fun to see a couple of young ladies decide that maybe they'll listen to them throughout the summer, and maybe they'll have a story to tell eventually. Hey, welcome to Vinyl Tour. It's your good friend, it's your pal, it's your compadre, it's TC, everybody. How you doing? What's going on the big show today? Well, we're talking about some kind of greatest hits vinyl coming out later this year. I think it's in August through October, I believe so. Kind of like stuff from Dokken, Biggie, and Vogue, a bunch of artists like that. Actually, some decent stuff. So it's like, well, if you don't want to get the entire discography, maybe not a bad thing there. Also, a little talk on little Uzi Vert. Ozzy dropping on a power trip. And then we'll do our song of the day, my song of the day, which is a Rihanna and Paul McCartney and Kanye West song. Can you name the song? They did it at the Grammys one year. So, all right. So let's start off with The Darkness and Justin Hawkins Rides Again. You know who The Darkness is? You remember The Darkness from, what year did that come out? Like 2003, I think. I Believe in a Thing Called Love. Just look into the rhythm of my heart. Yeah, that guy could get high like no one else could get high. Bob Marley high, man. It was Cheech and Chong high. Whoa. It was, who else? Willie Nelson high, at least when it came to his vocal range. And Justin Hawkins is kind of a cool cat, I got to say. The outfits, if you remember that video from I Believe in a Thing Called Love, just tripping. Anyways, they're doing a reissue of that album. It's, what is it? Permission to Land, a 20th anniversary edition. There's going to be an edition that's on black and blue marble vinyl. Also, they're doing like a 5 CD set, 5 album set, I believe, with like some live stuff on it and some outtakes. And that's only like $100. So 5 albums for $100, not a bad deal in my humble opinion. Will I pick this album up for our personal collection? So I like Justin Hawkins a lot because he does like a YouTube show, which is a pretty good show, I got to say. I enjoyed it. It's called Justin Hawkins Rides Again. He kind of reviews like new songs coming out. It's a fun show. He's a fun guy. So, yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I might pick it up just because of his show, I don't know if that's marketing on his part, but it's working. And, yeah, it's just a great song. I haven't really listened to the whole album. Maybe I should listen to the whole album before I do pick it up. But at $25, not a bad deal. So something coming out that I thought was kind of interesting. And there you go. It's kind of that segment kind of went nowhere, I feel. So was that death? Yeah. So this is why it's the early stage of the show. I'm kind of trying to work things out. Like, hey, what's going to work? What's not going to work? All due respect to Justin Hawkins and The Darkness, I think I just set that up entirely bad. So I blame myself. So I apologize to Justin Hawkins and The Darkness. Let's move on. So I noticed that we don't have them up for pre-order on Rock This Town Records. But I know that a couple other sites have them up already, and I noticed them in the distributor. There's some stuff coming out from Rhino / Warner Brothers / Elektra that's called Now Playing, and it's on vinyl, and they're all like $20 a piece, $19.99. So not a bad deal. So here's who you can get: Todd Rundgren, who is a pretty underrated artist in my humble opinion. I think he just got in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But yeah, good stuff there. Notorious B.I.G., kind of his biggest hits, including Hypnotize. And then there's the Spinners. Okay, that's cool. Ratt. I love myself some Ratt, some Warren DeMartini. His guitar playing is incendiary. Also Montrose, going back to a little Sammy Hagar and Ronnie Montrose action. Gordon Lightfoot. I could not name a Gordon Lightfoot song to save my life. Sorry. What can I say? Gerald Levert. En Vogue. I love En Vogue. What's on here? My Lovin', You're Never Gonna Get It. That's cool. Is Free Your Mind on here? Oh, yeah, it is on here. So, yeah, some really good stuff on that record. So I might be interested in checking that out. Though I think we bought the, there was a reissue from Music on Vinyl last year of En Vogue on like a pink vinyl, I think it was, that Jen and I ended up picking up. I forget the name of the album off the top of my head, but it's their big album. So we probably wouldn't pick this up ourselves because we have kind of the big album. And yeah, but there you go. Dokken, also part of the mix there. Speaking of incendiary guitar playing, and Mr. George Lynch. And then Bread. Once again, I couldn't name a Bread song if I tried. And yeah, that's a band. If you're not 75 years old, be like, what the heck is Bread? Well, it was a band. I think they came out of the late 60s, early 70s. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, I'm sure there's still a market for this stuff, but if I'm buying this stuff, I am buying probably Todd Rundgren. I'm buying Notorious B.I.G. I'm buying Ratt. I'd probably pass on Montrose. I love Sammy Hagar and Ronnie Montrose, a hell of a guitarist, but I'd pass. Gordon Lightfoot, no. Gerald Levert, I just don't know that much about him. En Vogue, I would definitely pick that up, and Dokken, I would pick that up as well. So, yeah, kind of a slow day. And there's going to be slow days here in the vinyl world. And today is one of those days, so, but maybe we'll get a big announcement later. We shall see. Though there is kind of a big announcement. Lil Uzi Vert is putting out his new album, Pink Tape, on pink vinyl, though this is only limited to like 2,000 copies, so probably not going to put this up online. Probably just going to make it available in the store. So if you're in the Phoenix metropolitan area, you can certainly swing on by, assuming we can secure a bunch of copies, because the internet would eat it up, and then you end up with people just flipping stuff as well. And I understand, but then, yeah. So I'm just going to make it available in the store if we get some. I got to say, I was listening to, I guess, one of the songs off the new album, Pink Tape, by Lil Uzi Vert, and it's Just Wanna Rock. I got to say, right over my head. Didn't get it at all. It's like 2 minutes. I'm like, wow, 2 minutes, impressive. It's like a Spotify song, because the more plays on Spotify you get, boom, the more money you make. So I think that Lil Uzi Vert can make 5 times the money that, say, Taylor Swift could make by someone streaming All Too Well, which is like a 10-minute song. So the era of Spotify, Lil Uzi Vert making some money there? Maybe. I did look up to see how old. I always like to look up to see how old people are, because I believe in kind of that 26 to 28-year-old range, whether it's sports or music. It really doesn't apply to, maybe it applies to writing in some ways, when it comes to, like, say, television or film, but mostly in music, and then also in sports, which is, I guess, the real talent. I mean, I would never consider like an actor a talented person. I mean, I would argue that Martin Scorsese or Christopher Nolan or whomever could take 50 random people off the street and get 2 of them nominated for an Academy Award. It's all about the director when it comes to filmmaking and stuff like that. But when it comes to music, a 26 to 28-year-old range, if you go back and you look at people's best albums and the best seasons, say, of their professional careers, usually it's right around that 27-year-old mark, and little Uzi Vert is 27. I think he's 27 right now, going to be 28. So basically, he recorded the album when he was 27. So in theory, this should be his best record. So that's always interesting. Like Billie Eilish, I think she's only like 23. So, and I'm thinking we're going to have a Billie Eilish record at some point, maybe this year. It's been 2 years since Happier Than Ever came out, which I thought was a really good record, though it didn't seem to do as well in some ways, in my opinion, though she was selling out arenas, so she must be doing something right there. But I'm guessing the next album from Billie Eilish is going to be her second best, and then the following album will be her best. But we shall see. Anyway, so, yeah, pink vinyl, little Uzi Vert. I don't know either. Maybe you know, maybe I don't, but I'm going to listen. I like to listen to new stuff. I like to check stuff out, see what's going on, but yeah, so far, Just Want to Rock, it did not rock me. I must have missed something there, but we'll see. Hey, Ozzy Osbourne dropping out a Power Trip. Speaking of little tour announcements and stuff like that, guess I'm not surprised. I think Power Trip is actually, I think the official sponsor is the Hover Round. Hover Round takes me where I want to go. Where will it send me? Because obviously Ozzy's on the bill. You got AC/DC on the bill. You got Iron Maiden and Tool and Metallica. Not that Metallica and Tool are that old, but, those guys are getting up there. They're in their 50s. Nothing wrong with being in your 50s, of course. But Ozzy, 70, AC/DC, Angus and Brian. I don't know if Angus is 70 yet, but Brian's definitely over 70, assuming it's Brian going to be the vocalist there for AC/DC, and hopefully that's the case. The Iron Maiden guys are probably all in their 60s, and who am I forgetting? There's somebody else on the bill that I'm forgetting right now. So obviously the speculation is who is going to fill in at Power Trip. I know there was some talk on Judas Priest, but really does Judas Priest, Guns N' Roses. Yeah, all those guys are in their 50s now at least, maybe coming up on their 60s. So not too bad. I know there's some talk on, Judas Priest, but are they really going to be able to fill the bill of Ozzy? I mean, Judas Priest is, at this point, they're not an arena act. And all these, Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Iron Maiden, AC/DC, Tool, those are all arena or stadium acts. So you kind of need somebody bigger. I mean, low-hanging fruit, you could look at like Def Leppard. You could look at Motley Crue. I'm guessing Motley Crue would probably be more preferred because Motley's a little more dirty. And that seems like the lineup seems a little more dirty, Def Leppard's a little more clean, so to speak. They're a little more user-friendly, as where Motley Crue is definitely a little more, down and dirty. Not that there's anything wrong with being clean or down and dirty, but hey, I'll just say I like the smell of soap. Let's just put it that way when it comes to, the fairer sex. So yeah, it should be interesting. A couple of alternative artists I came up with. Well, obviously, if you want to blow everybody away, you try to get Taylor Swift to come out. Wouldn't that be awesome, though? Kind of Taylor Swift and AC/DC sharing the bill on Saturday night. I know it's never going to happen. She's on tour anyways, but I just thought it would be funny because obviously no one can sell out a stadium or like 8 stadiums more than Taylor Swift these days. But I was thinking of alternative acts, and how about the Pumpkins? I mean, they've been around a long time. It's early 90s. There's Pearl Jam as well, but I don't know if they're doing anything right now. Eddie Vedder had the solo album and stuff like that. I guess they could reboot with Pearl Jam, but I just can't see that. I could see the Pumpkins or System of a Down, maybe, taking that spot. But yeah, I don't. But you need kind of a big artist, and Ozzy was, a huge artist. He's the Elton John of hard rock and heavy metal, right? And Elton John just hung it up until the next time he hung it up. I saw something funny. That the Who announced their first farewell. The Who announced their first farewell tour 41 years ago. Yeah, okay. Like Kiss was like 23 years ago. The Eagles was like 20 years ago. It's just like, come on, man. Whatever. All right, let's wrap it up here with my song of the day. Like I've said, over the last couple of years, especially getting into vinyl and more, even though I've always been into vinyl. But my taste, I was one of these guys that got stuck in the 80s and 90s. And I wasn't listening to a lot of different stuff, but now I'm just like listening to all kinds of stuff, whether it's jazz, whether it's hip hop. I really love Mac Miller. I love Kanye West. I've gotten into some older stuff from like Pink Floyd, artists like that. A little, not so much Led Zeppelin. I haven't really ventured down the Doors road. And then, just kind of modern artists as well, listening to Lana Del Rey, Phoebe Bridgers, stuff like that. But I gotta say, I really enjoy a lot of the Kanye stuff. And like I said on another show, and I'll talk about here in the future, I'm sure, Kanye obviously, maybe made some poor decisions, let's call it. Yeah, I mean, he made some poor decisions on opening his mouth here the last year or so. But I guess that's Kanye. And kind of got to put the music, put them apart, basically. What am I trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say here. I'm at a loss for words today. I'm just not feeling my jam today, but that's why we're doing early shows and we're trying to work everything out and make it sexy. I'm trying to find my moxie again, but you got to separate that's what I'm trying to say, to separate the artist from the music, because there's a lot of, I mean, if you're watching somebody, doing skateboarding videos, God forbid, I don't think I'd ever be doing that, but do you really want to hear what they think about something political or whatever? No, nobody wants that. So, but get to the point, TC. Get to the point. Okay, you got it. 4 or 5 seconds. I discovered this song. Jen and I were watching some YouTube thing. I don't know what it was, but somehow it led us to 4 or 5 seconds by Rihanna, Kanye West, and Paul McCartney. Oh, it was the story. Who was doing the story? It was, Nuno Betancourt from Extreme. He was. It was part of the Rick Beato interview that he did a few weeks ago. Really good interview, though it really wasn't an interview. Rick just let Nuno talk, and he just went for it, and he just did pretty much a 2-hour monologue. Anyways, one of the things is that he was he's kind of been a touring guitarist with Rihanna, and they did this thing with Paul McCartney, and Kanye West wrote and produced a song called 4 or 5 Seconds, and then Kanye and Rihanna sing on the song, and they were doing a live Grammys performance, and there was going to be a surprise performance between the three of them, and Nuno was going to be the guitarist for it. So anyways, cool story. So then we ended up checking out the song. I really fell in love with the song. I think it's a fun song. I think it's great. Rihanna sounds great. Kanye sounds amazing, and obviously the production is very good, because before Kanye was Kanye, he was a great producer. So that always helped things, and then obviously Paul McCartney is the legend that he is. So there you go. That's my song of the day. So if you want to check it out, cool. If not, well then, yeah, there you go. All right, let's put it in the books, baby. Big show in the book, and you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the emergency room.